Shishupal's grudge. The Rajasuya Yajna, started by the Pandavas, was on the verge of completion. The last rite was to confer honors upon the kings who had participated in the Yajna. Before starting this, it was customary to worship the best participant according to the manner prescribed in the religious scriptures. Yudhishthir decided to consult all the kings present there. Sahadev, ruler of Magda, proposed the name of Lord Krishna as he made him king. Most of the kings and the Brahmins seconded the proposal. After the rituals of the Rajasuya Yajna were over, Yudhishthir told Lord Krishna, "As per Bhishma Pitama's advice, I wish to give you these offerings as a mark of respect." Just then, Shishupal, the king of Chedi, got up from his seat and voiced his displeasure at Lord Krishna, a mere cowherd being honored first. Shishupal had an old grudge against Krishna because he had married Rukmini, whom he wanted to marry. He went on calling Lord Krishna names and insulting him. Shishupal insults Lord Krishna. Shishupal opposed the worship of Lord Krishna as the best participant in the Rajasuya Yajna. He used disgraceful words for him, suggesting that either Bhishma Pitama or Guru Dronacharya should be the candidates for worship, but these two elderly participants had already supported Lord Krishna's candidature. The fight over the choice of the rightful candidate for worship was not coming to an end, as Shishupal and his supporters were dead against the worship of Lord Krishna. The Pandavas were furious at Shishupal's behavior and threatened him to stop fighting. But Lord Krishna stopped them and said, "Shishupal is my cousin, the son of my father's sister, Satyavati. I would have killed him, but his mother had requested me to pardon him. I won't say or do anything until he has used at least 100 disgraceful terms for me. Now I want him to come to the right path," but this did not stop Shishupal from insulting Lord Krishna. The story of Shishupal's birth. Uddhav, Lord Krishna's charioteer, asked him, "How will the atrocities of Shishupal end?" Lord Krishna said, "Shishupal was born with 3 eyes and 4 arms. When he was born, a heavenly voice predicted that if he sat on a person's lap and his extra eye and arms would disappear, then that man would be responsible for Shishupal's end. Long ago, when I visited my aunt Satyavati, Shishupal was an infant. I took him from the cradle and sat down with him on my lap. At that moment, his extra eye and arms disappeared. Then my aunt made me promise that I would pardon Shishupal 100 times before I killed him. She also wanted that a son should go to heaven after death. I had agreed to fulfill both her wishes. Thus, Lord Krishna remained quiet at Shishupal's insults at the Rajasuya Yajna. Shishupal meets with his end. Lord Krishna had promised his aunt that he would pardon Shishupal's 100 mistakes, but not beyond that. During Yudhishthir's Rajasuya Yajna, Shishupal had crossed that line. Lord Krishna told Uddhav, "I want Shishupal, but he is bent upon meeting with his end, and I am helpless." Saying this, Lord Krishna wielded his Sudarshan Chakra and directed it at Shishupal. It severed his neck from the rest of his body and returned to Krishna's hand. Everyone present there was frightened as Lord Krishna had assumed his divine form of Virat Roop. They prayed that he calm down. So he came to his normal form and became calm as before. Lord Krishna had cut his finger while wielding his Sudarshan Chakra. Seeing this, the wife of Pandavas, Draupadi, came to his rescue by tearing off a small piece of a sari and wrapping it around his finger. Lord Krishna promised her to repay her loan of kindness in the future. Lord Krishna's wives. Lord Krishna's palace in Dwarka was adorned with the presence of his several wives. Among them, 8 were his chief wives or Ashta Bharyas. They were Rukmini, Jambavati, Satyabhama, Kalindi, Mitravinda, Nagnajiti, Bhadra and Lakshmana. The remaining women belonged to the demon king named Naraka Bhaumasur. He had held them captive until Lord Krishna killed him. When Krishna asked the women to return to their houses, they refused. "Please marry us, Lord Krishna, we cannot go back home now," they cried. So Krishna married them all at the same auspicious time, assuming several forms. He did this so that they might gain the status of married women and live in the society with honor again. Lord Krishna constructed a palace with huge gardens for each of them. In fact, it was impossible to live with each of them, so he created several forms of himself so that he might treat them all in the same manner as his 8 chief wives.
Thanks for watching. Do like, share, subscribe to Sahil Book House.